Koppel, host of the Time for Coffee podcast, where you get firsthand career advice into the jobs and industries that interest you the most. And before we start today's show, I have a quick favor to ask you. If you haven't already, I'd be incredibly grateful if you give us a rating and a review on iTunes. And if you're like me, you need to do it now because you'll forget later and because it's the best way to help others who may be in search of career advice to find this free resource. So press pause if you haven't done it and do it right now. I'll wait. Thanks so much and enjoy today's show. Hey there, Java Junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes, single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career triple shot K-Cup with my guest, Sascha Mornell. Could you share a time in your professional life when you struggled? Maybe you even failed or face planted. You may want to refer us back to your time at the NBA. But the important part of this example is how you persevered. So the resilience thread. And if there was a lesson that you learned in the process.
Doing your own thing, forging your own path, listening to your own voice, which we've talked a lot about, means that you're going to fall on your face a lot. So I will just preface that. And to your point, the resilience, persistence, ability to pick yourself up is really something that has been ingrained in my life. I will actually take you back to a different falling on your face moment, which back in Tokyo. So 2 years into my tenure at Dreyer's Ice Cream and Nisho Iwai, having learned to speak Japanese, I'd lived in an all-male dormitory, was living the life, enjoyed my time tremendously, was really understanding the marketing of the Japanese ice cream market, so to speak. It came to my attention that my boss, the Japanese boss, was doing something wrong. And what I mean by that is, since I had a chance to look at the numbers, they weren't adding up. Something was missing, there was different bank accounts, something was off. And I thought about this and sat on this for a while, and then it dawned that he was stealing from the company. I didn't know all the mechanics, etc. It was obviously something I couldn't prove exactly, but that was the conclusion I came to. And so I was at a decision point. What do I do? What do you do in something like this? And me being the innocent, naive person that I still am today, the optimistic person, I thought about who I should bring this to the attention of. And I brought it to the attention of the executives of Dreyer's Ice Cream in California. The short answer back from them after considering what I had brought up was, well, we're in business with your boss. We trust him. You are just a lowly marketing person that has just been at the company for a very short time. And so we're going to support him and not believe what you have to say. And so this was an unbelievably difficult period. So imagine that you kind of walked out on that branch or diving board and somebody behind you basically cut it off. So they were supposed to be my support and supposed to back me up on this, and they didn't. And so I thought, well, am I going to get fired? Am I going to get found out? Obviously, is that treasonous? Is that the wrong thing to do? I'm going to have to go back and start all over again. Long story short, very shortly after that, as I was going through this very low point and thinking I had done the wrong thing, that maybe I should have just gone along with what was going on, the larger Japanese company, as I said, this was a joint venture, the Sascha, the trading company, came in and with a forensic team of accountants just one day and a much older Japanese gentleman who was the more senior accountant came in and sat behind all of us. And they started going through the books. And it turned out that he had been stealing from the company. And it had turned out that I'd been right all along, but it didn't matter. Even when this came to light with the American side of the business, it wasn't recognized. Nothing was ever said. The touching part of the story was this, and the end of the story is the senior accountant who I'd been very frightened of. He was incredibly senior in the company and just had a very stern demeanor. Came to me as my time was ending over there, as I had applied to business school and thought that I needed a different path, came to me and thanked me for what I had done and said that I was a very noble person and brave person for doing what I did. But certainly in the moment, gives you very little comfort. And it was a very tough few months of just feeling awful and very alone and abandoned by people that you thought you could trust.
What a powerful story, Sascha. And it speaks volumes about the kind of human you are. I know that's not why you told it, but it certainly does. Final question here. If you could go back to Berkeley and do it all over again, and I know you have your oldest child who will be heading off to college, whether it's on the West Coast or somewhere else, but based on the wisdom you have right now, what advice would you give yourself?
My son just turned 18 and I wrote him a letter, proud dad, and considering this question to some degree. And the advice I would give is do it all. Embrace the heck out of your experiences in life. When you're younger, you think that you have forever. And I get that. I certainly felt that way in college. And what I mean by that is whatever you major in, do something else. If you're in medicine, try and do some art. Take as many extracurricular activities that you can, that your schedule will allow. Take advantage of everything that college offers. And what I mean by that is it's a broad canvas of opportunities, and opportunities big and small, classes, activities, things outside your comfort zone. If you are worried about failing, take it past fail. Fail. Who cares? I failed some business classes when I was an MBA because I had realized this lesson. And so if you're worried about that for grades, and I understand that, and achievements, take it past fail, but just do as much as you can, because it's a wonderful opportunity over the 4 years to try things. And whether it's learning a language or going somewhere for a semester, but take as much advantage as you can of that moment of not worrying about being an adult, not worrying about what's next. That will come for the rest of your life. But live in the moment, take advantage of what's in front of you, and try and really have a diversity of experiences in a very, and it may not seem this way, but a very safe environment.
Sascha is the CEO of GetMyBoat. That's all one word, GetMyBoat.com. If you have a boat you want to rent by the day, by the week, or longer, make sure to sign up. Or if you want to have an adventure on the water, whether it be in a kayak, a boat, a yacht, or just to go whale watching or scuba diving, make sure to check out the website. Sascha, I want to thank you sincerely for making the time for coffee today with me and the T4C community. This was incredible.
It was my pleasure. Wonderful, wonderful talking with you.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to this latest episode of T4C. And if you're interested in learning more about my coaching services for confused college students and recent grads, feel free to check out the Time for Coffee website under the coaching tab at time, the number 4, coffee.org, or text me at 202-236-5712. That's 202-236-5712.